18 minutes after 9 on this Wednesday morning. This is Today. I'm Yuveka Rangappa. Now, Durban musicians arrested during a protest last week are expected back in the Pinetown Magistrates Court. The performers blocked the N3 and held a street concert, calling on the president to ease lockdown regulations. They were arrested and released on bail. Well, our reporter Dasen Thathiah is in court for this appearance. Dasen, a very good morning. And just a quick reminder as to exactly what happened that led to the arrest of these musicians last week.
Oh, Yuveka, who could forget that spectacle on the N3 freeway in Durban? And that was when these artists, many of them who are here today, set up a mobile stage across the freeway to basically throw a party as a form of protest. And the point of that was so that they could get more people into venues, more people into clubs, and ultimately line their pockets or help them get more income, because they say that they've suffered over the past 6 months during the lockdown. So that lasted for about an hour, but it wasn't long before things got ugly. Police had intervened and there was a clash between those artists and police. As a result of that, more than 30 of them were arrested. So we are now outside the Pinetown Magistrates Court, and this is where another form of protest is happening just ahead of that appearance by those 32 protesters. I want to try and just get one of the artists here. Tizozo, let me just take you away from that for a second. Firstly, it looks like your support base has grown.
Yeah, it's because all provinces are here, because it's not a call for KZN only, it's a call for South Africa. We want our president to open our industry, the whole value chain. If our president can open one event, the person who's a graphic designer, who design poster will get something. The person who put up posters will get something. The PR, the promoters, all it's a value chain before it goes to the event. We've got sound people here, we've got people who've got fans, we've got bouncers.
So it's become a national protest?
Yes, it's a national protest.
And what's the word from the presidency? Because that's who your protest was directed at.
Yes, we did on Thursday, we did send the memorandum to the president's office. We're waiting for the response, but we want our president, when he speaks on the 15th, to include the industry, because our industry is very important, and especially in the youth who are not working. We are trying to help, because our industry it's hiring lots of youth people.
But this engagement is also happening at a city level, right?
Yes.
So how's that going? Because surely the city also has a certain degree of control as well in those discussions.
Yes, we met on Thursday with the mayor, Mr. Mkolisi Kaunda, and he gave us a delegation which led by our city manager and two DCM. We met on Friday with them, and yesterday we were busy engaging. What we are doing, we are coming with a plan to how we're going to manage this 70% that we are pleading for. Without we must keep the regulation of COVID-19. We understand everything. That's why you are saying 70%, while other industries have opened 100%.
Okay, and just lastly, are you convinced that patrons at these clubs will be able to stay safe with those extra numbers in those clubs?
Yes, we will put all our regulations under the COVID-19. That's why we are working with our government. We've got delegation that we are meeting today at 3. We've got delegation from health. We've got delegations from economic development. We've got delegation from arts and culture. Together with the city, we are coming up with a plan in how this 70% is going to work. We don't want to just say we want 70%, but as the industry, we understand our industry, we know what we want. That's why we're asking for this 70%.
Thank you very much. Rebecca, that was one of the artists. They're explaining that they are still in negotiations with government to see if they can get more people into these venues, but that's still a discussion that's ongoing. In the meanwhile, though, this case will still continue because those that are in the dock are charged with contravening the Road Traffic Management Act, as well as gathering illegally on that freeway. So we'll be in court shortly to find out exactly what transpires in that case today.
Well, Dasen, before you go, and I do understand the concerns of artists. I understand how they've suffered over the past couple of months and how much money has actually been lost here. But I find it really ironic that they were arrested based on their protest, asking government to ease down on the lockdown regulations, but they don't seem to be following the basic rules that might allow for that in the coming months. In terms of social distancing, wearing a mask when he was talking to you.
This is also one of the concerns, and that is why my last question actually spoke to that, because with these increased numbers, I mean, with 70% of capacity, that basically means if a venue was taking 1,000 people, you're talking about 700 people that are going to be in that venue. And as much as they can engage with government over these regulations and how it will be enforced in those clubs, ultimately it's going to come down to people themselves taking the necessary precautions. And in large groups, as we know, that's not something easy to police.
And showing some responsibility and, just setting an example. Well, Dasen Thathiah, thanks so much. We'll see what the courts have to say about all of this.